What's up, board fam? Eric here, and in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the Outrage space, the Flop Watch space, and Spider-Man Brand New Day. As far as I can tell right now, most of these channels are not actually trying to go after the movie and claim it's going to be a flop. They didn't do it a lot before the movie came out, and they're not really doing it now. The writing's on the wall. This movie's going to have a massive opening weekend. I don't know if it's going to hold for like 5 weeks straight or whatever, but it's definitely gonna have a massive opening weekend and most likely a really good second weekend. I would not bet against Spider-Man with the track record Spider-Man has. Just like it was really stupid for them to bet against Nolan and the Odyssey. With all the signs they had that movie was gonna be fantastic, they still tried to do it and they failed at that. So they're not trying to do that with Spider-Man. But one of the things they are doing, and we're going to look at a Critical Drinker clip very quickly before we look at Ryan Kennel. Then we're going to talk about heel versus babyface and just this overall space and what I expect to see when it comes to Spider-Man Brand New Day from these guys. So the problem here is that there's been this ongoing conversation from these channels about the death of the MCU, superhero fatigue, Disney is get woke, go broke. Like all of these things occur on a regular basis on these channels. If you tune into their live streams or you watch any of their videos, you know this is the normal conversation about Marvel and Disney products. The really interesting thing about this film is it is a creative collaboration between Disney and Sony. Now, Sony primarily handles the financial aspects of this, the distribution of this, and they can veto castings and approve castings and things like that. But if you look it up, and you can double check this, again, I always look this stuff up before I say it. Marvel, Kevin Feige, those guys have creative control over the story elements and the things that are included in the movie that connect to the broader MCU. So this is a collaboration film. One of the things they will try to do, not Critical Drinker here in this clip, but I think what they're going to do in general is they're going to try and make it seem as if Sony is responsible for 100% of this project and Marvel has nothing to do with it. That's just not true. It's a lie. You can look it up. They're going to try and gaslight you, but do not believe them. That's not the case. Now, in this Critical Drinker video, we're not going to watch the majority of the video because he does what he always does. He recaps the movie, and there's a lot of spoilers. The movie just came out a couple days ago. I'm not going to make you guys watch a video with spoilers so soon, so don't worry about that. But I am going to show you the ends of these two videos we're going to watch so you can see where they're going to go with their arguments about Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then at the end of this video, my video, I'm going to tell you what I think we're going to see over the next couple weeks. Let's watch the very end of Critical Drinker's video and pay attention to what he says here.
Ultimately, despite a few flaws on the writing side, Brand New Day is a safe, solid kind of movie that gets the job done without the same energy and novelty of Homecoming or the emotional gut punch of No Way Home, but instead delivers 2 hours of reliable entertainment with everyone's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And if the box office projections are anything to go by, well, maybe there is still life in the MCU yet.
So right away, a couple things jumped out for me in that little ending that he did for his video. Safe, predictable. Those are words he's using to diminish the creative success of the movie. A lot of people love this movie. I have my own criticisms of it. If you didn't watch the Nerdcast, I talk about it over there. If you go to my Reloaded channel, there's an actual review over there. So I don't think it was a perfect movie, but I think the movie is going to tick all the boxes for the general audience, and that's really important. Safe, I don't think it's a safe movie. I don't even think it's a predictable movie. I mean, there are some spoilers that leak, but I don't think the film itself is predictable. If you aren't terminally online and you didn't read spoilers, I don't think the film is that predictable either. But he's using that to sort of diminish the creative process behind the movie in sort of like a subliminal way with his audience. But then he says maybe there's still some life left in the MCU. How is that possible? Like, quite literally, how is that possible? And I'm saying that with the goalpost that these guys have set up, with the standard that these channels have set up. If the MCU is dead and Disney is broke and all of this other bullshit that they say, how can you explain an outlier film like this that disproves that narrative? How do you explain that? And this isn't going to be the only outlier. In-game Encore is probably going to make a lot of money, and that costs them very little They're putting it back out in theaters with a little bit of new footage. It's going to cost them very little with that. They're going to make money off of that. And then we know Doomsday is going to make money. It's already selling out some of its early tickets. And we know Secret Wars is going to do good. So the next like 2 big Marvel movies are going to do really good. We won't even see a fresh film, like something with a brand new IP, until 2028. So I don't really understand this narrative that these guys have crafted, that their viewers follow, where you kind of have this weird thing where you've convinced yourselves that Marvel doesn't make good movies anymore. And that's just not true. It's simply not true. Matter of fact, if you look last year, I will concede that Captain America: Brave New World was not great, in the sense that I don't think it was a great film. Now, of course, subjectively, some people can disagree with me, and that's fine. But I think looking at that movie, clearly, if you look at the Marvel movies that came out, that one was the one that just didn't work. I think Thunderbolts was a fantastic movie. I would argue Thunderbolts is just as good as something like this Spider-Man film. I think it really was. I think Thunderbolts, there was a lot of issues with the marketing of that movie, and we could go on and on about it. Like Fantastic Four is just, it's a solid movie. Okay, but still, not a disaster, not a flop, none of those things. So I think it's just really weird we're back to this concept that Marvel's struggling so badly creatively that this is, like, maybe they still have life left in them. This is the dumb shit that Critical Drinker says. Now, I want to show another trick up their sleeve with a Ryan Kennel video where they're going to talk positively about Spider-Man because they can't flop watch it. We already know it's not going to flop. And they don't want to have another Odyssey situation. So in his video, he talks positively about Spider-Man, talks about how much money it's going to make, how he's sure the general audience is going to like it. He says all those things, but of course, there's spoilers in it, so I'm not going to show that part of it. We're going to look at the end of the Ryan Kennel video where the switch up happens. So when people come into my comments, they're like, oh no, they talk positively about movies. You never want to give them credit for that. Well, yeah, he talks positively about Spider-Man Brand New Day and then immediately takes a big shit on it using a Geeks and Gamers article. Let's check this out.
And here are some of the thresholds when it passes, kind of what it'll mean for it. I wanted to go to some of these. If it goes over 247 million, it's above Force Awakens. 257 million over Infinity War. Over 260 domestic, it tops Spider-Man No Way Home. And for me, this is the surprising part. I thought it would do big numbers. I thought it would probably be the biggest movie of the year, depending on how Avengers Doomsday does later in the year. But I didn't think it was going to quite reach the heights of Spider-Man No Way Home because you didn't have Toby, you didn't have Andrew, you didn't have the nostalgia of all their characters coming into play with it as well. So I thought it'd be a little bit below that, but still a very successful movie. $1.6 billion or something like that, which would be huge. But no, looks like it's going to be even bigger than that. And I think one thing to keep in mind when we're looking at all of this is that with all these connections to the MCU, Spider-Man is a Sony property. And this is a Sony movie. And just like we saw with Spider-Man No Way Home, it did nothing for the health of the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. And it only looks more embarrassing for Marvel that they can't get people to come to their movie.
And there you go. That's the playbook. Right? He did a whole video. Again, we skipped a lot of the review because I didn't want to spoil anything. He did the whole video talking about how successful and overachieving Spider-Man Brand New Day is, making it seem like it's this fantastic film, such a triumph. It's blowing the doors off theaters financially, which these are also the guys that said financially success with numbers in the box office doesn't mean it's a good movie. Remember, this is the same argument they made in a previous video. But here he's arguing, the movie's doing great. Look at the numbers. It's more than I expected. It could be the biggest movie of the year. All these accolades. But, wait, hold on. Can't be too positive. Don't forget, Spider-Man is a Sony property. Except for the fact, just like I explained earlier, the movie is creatively conceived and done by Kevin Feige and Marvel. So there's a big ding, ding, ding red flag there because that's just not true. Sony has a lot to do with the financial aspects of it, saying yes or no to actors and stories. They can veto something if they want. but ultimately the conception of these Spider-Man movies is done at Marvel. Like Marvel are the ones doing it. He also says this means that they can't get anybody to come watch their movies. Spider-Man is the single most popular superhero in the world, and it's not even close. The second most popular superhero is Batman. And when it comes to Spider-Man and Batman in terms of like their value, their financial value globally in merchandise, ancillary things, Spider-Man sits at $1.3 billion annually worldwide in merchandising. You know where Batman is? The second most popular superhero? 450 million. So there's a big divide between Batman and Spider-Man, and everybody else is under those characters. So there's just no comparison. The argument that Marvel can't get people to come see these other movies, these other franchises they have, while holding up Spider-Man is like, look at this. People are going to see Spider-Man. Yeah, dipshit. Spider-Man is the single most popular superhero in the world. I actually pulled up the franchise value. Spider-Man is around $30 billion in franchise value. No shit. No shit people are going to go see and support Spider-Man. It would actually be like even more shocking to me that Spider-Man would underperform than overperform. Saying that Spider-Man might have the biggest movie of all time would not be shocking to me. That's not a shocking thing. Saying Spider-Man has a flop, that would be a shock. So it's this weird value thing with them where it's like, look, Spider-Man's doing so great. Nobody wants to see the Thunderbolts. Nobody wants to see Captain America. Those characters and those teams are not comparable to Spider-Man. It's such a dumb comparison. But again, the point here is that he's trying to make Marvel look bad. Just like Critical Drinker saying, well, maybe there's a little life left to Marvel, right? Maybe there's a little bit. And here we have Ryan Kennel following behind and going, well, you know, it's not really a Marvel project. It's a Sony project. So that doesn't really matter. And look, nobody wants to go see Marvel stuff using his fucking Geeks and Gamers website as shit. And that's not the only one. Let's look at one more. We're not going to watch the video, but I want to show you guys a thumbnail of one more video to show you how pathetic this entire thing is with Spider-Man, where they can't grift off of Spider-Man flopping, so they have to do this comparison battle shit. Look at this. This is the thumbnail from heel versus baby shit. Babyface, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. The title of the video is Spider-Man Brand New Day Humiliates Supergirl. Why are we still doing these like Supergirl sucked videos? Like, why are we still doing that? If you want to talk about Supergirl now, the way you would do it is like constructively, like what actually went wrong with the movie and how can we fix this moving forward? This is just pathetic. You can't even make a positive Spider-Man video without going, I'm going to take a shit on Supergirl. Which again, Supergirl is not comparable to Spider-Man in popularity. It's not even close at all. And Supergirl's not even a competitor to Spider-Man at the moment. The movie did so poorly on its opening weekend, it's already being shipped to home VOD. It's already there. Nobody is arguing that Supergirl was going to do the numbers that Spider-Man's going to do. Like, who was doing that? Show me which person out there, anyone that has a channel that was like, Supergirl, yeah, it's going to fucking cook Spider-Man. Supergirl's going to beat Spider-Man. So this is so dumb. Can you not just do a positive review of a movie that you think is good or that financially succeeded in a big way and not have to lean into culture war shit? Can you do that? Now, the reason why I'm showing you these three videos, and there's other ones out there, but I don't want to keep you all day, right? The reason why I'm showing you these is this is culture war, brain rot, outrage, media grifting content. Because these channels, all three of them, could have done videos where they're simply talking about what they thought of Spider-Man and not having to take pot shots at anybody. They could have done the video and said, I like Spider-Man, I didn't like Spider-Man, and really just talk about Spider-Man. But none of them did that. In the Critical Drinker video, he did like this backhanded slap saying maybe there's a little life left in Marvel after all. He saved it to the very end, but he got it in there. Ryan Kennel pulls up a dumb fucking article from Geeks and Gamers trying to diminish the success of Marvel because Spider-Man was produced and distributed by Sony. Even though the average person watching these movies doesn't give a fuck about that distinction. But they had to lean into the culture war stuff. And here we have Az that cannot stop making Supergirl videos. Quite literally, his channel is full of Supergirl. That's all it is right now on his channel. It's He even made a clickbait video about Supergirl that he didn't use Supergirl's name in the title. But it was a video about Supergirl. It's crazy. And the rest of the year, we have a lot of really good... I think Clayface is going to do really well. I think Lanterns is going to be a good show. I think the encore of Endgame is going to do well. I think Doomsday is going to do really well. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not sure what the move is for them. Are they going to have to jump to 2027? Oh, wait, there's no Marvel movies to talk about other than Secret Wars, which is going to do well in 2027. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to be struggling. It's going to be very difficult for them moving forward, which is why they're doing this right now. This is an admission that they're struggling. The channels are struggling to find content. We love to see it. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. Like, I enjoy the fact that they really cannot do a positive video about anything without attacking something somewhere in the video. It is quite literally impossible for them. They have to get the dopamine hit for Outrage, for their viewers. They have to. They don't have a choice. It's almost like it's baked in. It's part of the recipe for their channel. It's like if you were to go and ask ChatGPT, which I'm not saying you should because it's not good for the environment, but if you were to go use ChatGPT and you're saying, like, give me the recipe for Outrage content, this would be one of those ingredients. 100%. These guys are pathetic, man. So fucking sad.